I have no recollection of what I was about to do. In a few days since I played. Not because I didn't want to, but because I was busy. Droracle caves maybe? Well, actually I haven't really explored all that much apparently. Well, whatever. Right, I've been at the docks, I've been at the portal, but nothing else really. So yeah, we're gonna explore this area, especially the path to the Droracle caves.
A sign pointing the way to the Droracle.
That has to be the next step, but it wouldn't hurt to actually take a look around what's here. Even if we have no use for it now, we'll have use for it sooner or later. Ale pig, though it's hostile. Probably. Would be a decent chance to test some of our spells, I guess. We can, yeah, we have, well, the detonation spear was never intended to be as a real attack spell in combat, but we might as well test it out anyway. Not like it can't be used for that. Wondering how easy it is to use in such a manner. And could you potentially harm yourself if you use it at close range?
We fight soon.
Bullshit arrows. East track. That's it, they're my bullshit arrows, so I'll allow it.
Victory
Not
is
exactly stalwart
ours.
fighters.
Shot, 1 kill, not bad.
You little creep!
This is a much less efficient use of mana. So more or less it's the elemental properties might turn out to be useful there. The fact that it's an ice spell basically.
Swine.
Annihilated.
Oh crap, I don't want this. It's a component item, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because I don't care about champion stone, so no. No. It's just extra crap in your inventory. Suppose you could farm money that way, but on what are you gonna spend it? You need a fairly firm, concrete goal before you start grinding. The high probability you don't need to grind. If this is anything like Lands of Lore 1 or 2, best gear is not something you can buy in a shop. So it's just a fucking waste to do that. you're gonna find your super flaming or blizzard halberd of something, and that's what you're gonna use because it's by far the best weapon in the game. It'll have a decent physical attack, plus it'll have some magical bullshit property that kills everything when it triggers. So that's what we'll go for. Money is only really useful now because we don't have any of the good stuff. So now is the time to buy stuff, buy better gear. That's why I'm not too concerned about hoarding cash at all. If we can buy a magical item, armor piece, weapon now, we need to buy it now because later there's no point in buying anything. Probably. Drorkul Lair, right. Fairly straight path to here. So, what are our other options?
Oh, so that's the way it's going to be, huh?
How much peak meat do we have? 16. Mostly killing with spells because I'm hoping the mage will level up a little bit faster. So much convenient to fight through the fighter abilities. That's probably where most of the experience goes. Also, the arrows are now ridiculously powerful compared to other weapons. That's the standard issue arrows, not even the elemental ones. Something new. Death Sack. Probably a poison of some sort. When used with a physical weapon, this poultice adds a greater poison strike to your next melee or missile attack. These poison effects can be queued up on any given weapon. Greater poison does damage for a while, then it outright kills you. I have no idea how it's used against enemies, because it's unlikely that you can just use a greater poison attack on a boss and it'll die for sure. Much more likely there are a lot of enemies that basically ignore all poisons, which is a shame, but on the other hand I don't know. We might as well taste it at some point. I mean, if I can get one easy kill out of it, it'll be worth it. What new enemies? Oh fuck, lamplights. These are poison spitters. Once found only on the southern continent, these hopping insects have recently migrated to the northern lands. They have taken up residence in the limestone caves scattered around Gladstone and have been a nuisance for local farmers and geldenberry growers. They are not very aggressive and will usually not attack travelers if left alone. Yeah, that's my experience. Until they sort of gathered around you in large groups. If you attack one of them, then they start spitting their poison. We have poison immunity bracers, so I don't care too much. Did I flip around? We're borderline immune to their fighting attacks, I think. Poison is the biggest problem, mainly because it eats up your resources. That's basically it. Not even that dangerous otherwise. You have plenty of time to heal it or endure it.
Oh, so that's the way it's going to be, huh?
Yeah, I didn't really take damage from its attack. Venom Sack. The venom contained in these sacks can be combined with other appropriate ingredients to create various poisons. Historically found on the southern continent, the strange creatures known as lamplights have begun to nest in the north. Yeah. Where's the venom sack? I don't want it. Where the hell are we going? One thing at a time. See if I can get there. Not even close. possibly jump there. Nope. Shallow water. Looks like ice or snow. Sort of. I wouldn't bet my life on it though, but how shitty ice and snow would look like in a game like this. Is there any kind of marker on the map? No. I'll mark it. Put a question mark on it that I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it seems like snow. I'm afraid to ask what else that kind of huge area of white stuff could possibly be other than snow at this point. So let's just assume it's snow. That would be a likely portal location then. So there's only a single map and there's no timed events, I guess. So everything that's going to appear here later on has already been sort of marked on this map now. So we should be able to predict some future points of interest. Locked hollow stump filled with cash. I mean, just a random treasure chest might have been sort of more believable and realistic than that. Someone had to work quite a bit to make it look like a stump after all. But still obviously not a stump. It's not like it's even a secret you might discover. I'm not sure I want to pick fights with the lamplights there. As far as I see, they're basically free kills for us. This is more of a role-playing thing, also a cautionary thing. Sometimes you can break games if you're too trigger happy. So basically not starting shit on our own is a safety measure to try to make sure that we can actually complete the game without too much fuss.
This weapon works well on these beasties.
Deep water. Probably don't want to get in the... Ooh, don't want to drop there. Yeah, I don't see a bottom. Even if I won't drown immediately, I'll probably have no way of getting out of there in time. So, better not risk it. Unless we absolutely have to. Lamplight eggs. This was an ingredient we wanted. I'm pretty sure about that. Yeah. Acid sacs. Now we need a source of tar crystals. But Lamplight X is just a single inventory slot out of many, so that's something we can certainly sacrifice. There's no way to actually get there, right? Looks like you have to go into the water. It's shallower here, it gets deeper when you go in that direction. Now same here. I don't see anything actually down there, just deep water. Ground is changing. Another weird area, likely portal location. Looks something that looks like a corpse, maybe, or an armor piece. But no, these look like wires. Yeah, it definitely looks like a robotic limb. Weird death fish. Could this be an area where radiation is a thing? The ground is even now sort of a little bit of brown. Fish were dead, grass was dead, machinery looking things are here. Let's go with radiation. Wonder how many of these portal locations there are in total. I mean, there's probably a few, but there has to be a somewhat reasonable amount. It's already the volcano area. That's the one we know. That's probably where we need to go first. Actually, makes sense. I'd like to know a little bit more. What the hell am I supposed to do, though? What's this all about? So, Droracle first. Right. Oh, much still left unexplored. Right. Quite a bit, actually. There are no real threats here for us. It's just time consuming, no real risk involved, so I would hope we'll find places of interest. Yeah, like this. Looks like a cave entrance. Cavern. Well, close enough. Suppose it could be a portal too, but it doesn't exactly look like a portal location. I'm leaning toward it being a cave. Could be that we can't really do all that much before we meet the Droracle. It's sort of the game's way of forcing our hand a little bit. Once we know where we need to go, what we need to do, then access to all these places is unlocked. Or at least some of them. If I have my choice, my first choice would not be to go into the radiation world. It seems like poison, greater poison, radiation. So in many ways, radiation will be more of a pain to ask. And I think it has like an immediate... It's probably slower affecting than greater poison, but it'll end up in our deaths. It'll increase, I think, my magic potential while lowering my health. So either there has to be... Either we have to continually heal to survive there, probably through magic, or there are places where we can be protected from radiation, so it's like going from one sanctuary to another and trying to do the middle parts as quickly as possible. Try to avoid taking damage fighting.
Not exactly stalwart fighters. Let's see how you like this!
It's like a stone quarry to me. Not sure why there's no one here though. Rock. Okay. Again, a question mark because I don't actually know what this is, but it's about as quarry looking thing as I've ever seen, so probably a stone quarry. Right. Going left. It should go connect to areas we've already been in.
Annihilated.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm missing anything. Can't go there. You've been there. Sort of. Not there though. Follow the river, see if we can get to anywhere new. Don't think there's any real risk of drowning. Doesn't appear to be all that much happening at the sides of the river either. Just a fairly straightforward path. And we've been here, right, but no, there's definitely a path to the left. How do you get there? At least it certainly looks like a path. Right, it should be here. Be a dead end too. No, not necessarily. or stone? Yeah, definitely not a dead end. Maybe there? I don't think so. The auto map doesn't exactly fill in everything. But the quarry is the only place where there's still an additional path left to explore. So looks like this is a oh, for God's sakes, sneezing. Right, looks like this is a fairly harmless place overall. A couple of maybe points of interest, but nothing really interesting happening here. There's no danger either, so I'm guessing the Gladstone areas are more or less a tutorial safe zone, so you can sort of get used to the game, and the portal worlds are the things that are the interesting part of the game. I have to assume so, because this certainly isn't. It's basically way too trivial. Much easier than the
exactly stalwart fighter.
Lance of Lord 1 or 2.
Spittle.
Not sure why exactly. Could be that we have a fairly decent start with access to a lot of shops and gear. So you don't have to just start empty-handed in the middle of nowhere trying to figure out what the hell to do first. You start in the middle of a major city with guilds fighting over you, trying to offer you free stuff, and you have fairly clear goals from the start. Clear access to better gear if you just collect the money and all that. So, and you have a lot of areas to explore in the town itself to gain experience and money. I think that's probably the biggest boost. So by the time you have to leave the city, you have at least some that's not a pig. You have at least some experience plus some okay gear. So you'll be fine. What is that?
You, Goatherd boy, do you have some cheese for sale?
Goat herd? Cheese? Why would you think I would have cheese for sale? Who are you anyway?
Me? Surely you know of me. I am Rix, Rix of Turquoise. You know, the slayer of Belial.
Oh, right. Rix. Come to think of it, I have heard of you. You're the great adventurer, aren't you?
That's me, and what a thrill for you. I must be quite an inspiration to your generation, mustn't I? Well, cherish the memories, boy, for now I must be going.
He has no idea, does he?
Sissy.
Please don't. Are your hands greasy?
I don't know. Who is this guy? Well, we have a few options where to go.
Boy, now I wish I had packed a lunch.
There's lunch.
Annihilated. weapon works well on these beasties.
Right, this is the other entrance to the city. I can see the inn I'm living in. Don't know why I would want to go inside though. What the hell is that? Not sure, pair of gloves? Pair of gloves maybe? Right. There were other paths unexplored. One other path. Right, doesn't look like all that exciting of a place. It has some portal entrances and a Joracle cave, but this isn't a place where you're meant to adventure, really. What's all this then? The farm, basically. Holy shit.
Smoke them!
I'm dead, pretty much. Where did the damage come from? Because there was some sort of a like a fire attack, but it's a boar. The boar didn't do that. So I wonder, did my familiar just basically almost kill me or not? I was stuck here. He came from the behind, and there were attack sightings. Did you almost kill me? It wasn't the boar. The boars are fairly harmless. Love my ring of regeneration, so I didn't die at least.
What kind of fruit is that on your trees?
Don't want to answer. All three. We can bash or pick the lock. We'll pick it if we can. Pickpocket his pockets.
I'd have thought there was something in that pocket. This should be useful.
What is it? Cave aloe. Seriously? Well, it's a farmer. What exactly was I expecting him to have? Maybe crossbow? Okay. That's good, that's very good. I have no particular use for it, but it's worth a decent amount of cash. Wait. Can I do the same thing with the door so he doesn't get hostile? It's 2 barrels, really? Mace. The traditional weapon of clerics, a heavy iron ball at the end of a stout haft. Amen. Still, it's probably a different damage type. It's very weak though. The mace delivers blunt strikes to foes at a reasonably rapid rate. Fair enough. Right, at least 3 farms. And a dead end. Anything else? Not really. So farms, quarry, cave, radiation, snow, and oracle cave. I'm heading back to the city. There's a high probability that oracle caves have some sort of secret, so naturally I'd like to go there with at least some spare inventory room.
This weapon works well on these beasties.
Doesn't really matter who we sell the scrap to. Although we would get better prices if we don't sell it at the Thieves Guild. There's a weapon shop and general shop in this part of the city. Yeah, I can hear a rat close by. Fox Mercantile and Barnabas' army are over in the south side. Okay, fireball. Rats are vulnerable to fire, apparently. Yeah, this bow is good, but also fairly dangerous if recklessly used.
Hello.
Yo.
Yo, yo, yo.
I'd like to sell this.
Okay, I buy it.
I'd like to sell this.
Okay, I buy it.
He's not buying much. I'm not sure if I
See
want
ya.
to go to the general store. We're better off just going through the guilds quickly. See what we can sell there and then dump everything extra we don't have to carry in the Thieves Guild. That should give us an okay amount of cash. Not sure if we should buy any real gear. I think more or less we should expand our selection of spells. I mean, 2 attack spells is pretty goddamn weak. Gotta do better.
Locked.
We should also prefer some new elements over spell elements we already have. We have ice. Granted, it's not a good ice spell, but if we can buy something besides ice, then it'd be better.
Help yourself, and I'll add up when you're done.
Ooh, that's super expensive. Excellent. Right. Have a healthy amount of gold again. Or silver crowns.
Hello again, Copper. Do you want to sell that?
I'd like to, yes, please.
He's not paying much for that anymore. They're not really worth even taking with us. Or we need to sell them to someone else. The stroke daggers. When did I get another Oculus pod? They're very expensive. Right. Not super expensive though. Also, why do I have 20 aloe leaves? Yeah, they're worth nothing.
I'd better be going.
20 extra aloe leaves.
Come in, come in. Many herbs we have here. You wish to sell, and we will buy.
Not gonna sell Bell's fruit until I know what the hell do they actually do. I also don't want to use our remaining lore stones to finding out.
Gotta go. See you later.
Careful.
It's not a ingredient, so or at least it's not only an ingredient, so it'll do something on its own. Plus I could just actually eat it, right? When I ingest it, this fruit will nullify the effects of greater and lesser poison. But I'm immune to those things. I'll hold on to them for now. I need to decide what to do with the antidote. There might be situations where I basically don't want to use up an inventory slots for the bracers, but I might still be poisoned. So carelessly just chucking them away at the nearest vendor is probably not a great idea. Otherwise we'll have to get some sort of... We'll have to start stacking the poison shield spell on top of everything else. It'll get complicated. Not impossible by any means, and I have a hard time believing there are that many places where it would be even relevant. But we have enough empty inventory space for now. We can leave this decision for a later date. Guess they're vulnerable to lightning. Might as well take a good look here too, since we're at it. Hostile, probably. Okay. There's quite a few of them though. Yeah, they're gonna attack. Thing is, I don't really see them doing any damage.
Taste steel.
Shocking.
Oh yeah?
Shocking.
Shocking indeed. Shocking that there's so many still left.
So that's the way it's going to be, huh?
Victory is ours.
I don't expect this much fighting in the sewers. Have to do something about the excess rat meat. Not quite sure we explored everything, but oh great. Ooh, I can actually open this. Ah shit, I didn't save. Opportunity to test the theory again, lost.
Come on in. If you're selling, we're buying. If you're selling, we're buying.
She ain't buying a lot. She has a couple of items to be somewhat interesting. Well, are somewhat interesting. But I still would prefer spells at this point.
What's up, Mojo? How's business?
You know, same old stuff. Sure, we'll buy that. Sure, we'll buy that. Sure, we'll buy that. Sure, we'll buy that.
Guess that's good enough for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 empty inventory slots. That's more than enough. 2,200 silver crowns. That should get us 2 good spells. Probably spells that we can't all that effectively use, so we'll go with something else. 2 to 3 new spells, basically. Not sure if clerics offer all that much of interest point, so we'll lean toward offensive spells. I've been there. Sort of looks like I have, but Sort of looks like it's not fully completely mapped out. Yeah, I definitely have not been here. I've seen this pathway, but not actually moved in there. Cockroaches? Oh, cockroaches.
Wine! Nice!
This bow is fantastic. Just amazing. Right, there's some sort of a hole at the ceiling. If I'd have to take a guess, I would say it works the other way around. We can use some escape from some place by dropping into the sewers. That's when the sudden appearance of cockroaches might be a real threat, because you're gonna take damage from the drop, no matter who you are and how powerful you are. Yeah, even with the bow, the rate of fire is a limiting factor. We don't really have a lot of group attack spells. At the same time, I'm not sure if I should buy them. I mean, they can be useful, sure, but almost exclusively in games, it's the real few powerful enemies that are the real pain in the ass, not the swarms of shit creatures. There are exceptions, but they tend to be in the real-time strategy genre, not really role-playing and adventure games. Okay, 2200. We don't have to spend everything, but I'd like at least 2 new spells. We have something cold that's sort of shit, but it's still okay. We have something electric, but it's shit. We have something explosive and it's actually okay. That's
You may choose spells here if you wish to purchase.
very expensive. This ancient magic spell unleashes a massive concussive wave of energy, inflicting serious damage on all opponents in the same room. It will also destroy some structures as well. Requires ancient magic to cast. Yes, that's the red marker. It's sort of shaped like an ancient stone. I was wondering, how do you cast ancient magic in the game? So you might have to use up a stone first, then you cast a spell. It's red if you haven't used the stone, turns to something like green. Have used the stone. Not sure I want this. I mean, we haven't encountered anything even remotely powerful so far, so not sure a 1800 silver crown spell is a good investment at this point. We could try summoning spells. They were just god awful. No. I don't want summoning spells. It's I fundamentally don't want that. I want to be able to rely in combat on myself. That said, there aren't a lot of options left if I ignore ancient spells. Like the range spells, some electric attacks, more powerful light attacks. Well, the blades, but that's just a basic. I don't see much of a difference between just shooting a bow and using the blades. I just don't see it. So better electricity and ice spells. What's the next one on our list? I suppose it would be Cold Spray. We have a Greater Spark, Chain Spark, and Lightning. Greater Spark would be the next on the list. I'll actually buy the Chain Spark too. Can I buy more? One more. Sphere of Cold. Mainly because I already have a couple of extra lightning spells after this. I'll try to buy as many as I can during the playthrough. For nothing else, just see how they work. I'm somewhat interested in the Sun Ray. I could afford it, but mainly because it sounds so different than anything else. Powerful ray of artificial sunlight that concentrates its heat on a specific point. So it's sort of a heat attack too. Yeah, I think that alone justifies taking it. Will I see spheres that will track and target nearby opponents? Yeah, let's just see what they do. We're pretty much piece poor after this, but yeah, at least we have new spells.
Thank you. Thank you for visiting the Talamari Library.
We're not using the defensive spells all that often, so I'm thinking of adding an extra attack spell in there somewhere. I can't even cast Sunray once. That's hilarious. Okay, Greater Spark, Cold Spray. We do need the light spell though. I don't want to go into the spellbook every time I need
Please
to cast
return at
light.
your convenience.
Right. Huge success. And 3 new spells at least that we can try. Although I'm not sure if a boar is a good test target for these things.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm looking for my soul. It's missing.
I don't know. You might want to look in the Draricles caves.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Everybody seems to think highly of him.
Sounds like a plan. I'll hold my ass to Oracle Caves and leave things at that. So, not much there in the wilderness. Couple of points of interest that might be of something interesting in the future. Possibly, maybe. Though nothing all that much. That's a lot of pigs. Me Chain Spark.
Don't mess with me, you little creep!
It's not really what I'm looking for, I guess. It doesn't seem to be targeting all that efficiently. Sort of just sprays crap in their general direction, you hope for the best. But it's very unreliable, it doesn't seem to track any of the targets. So I'd say it's a bust, it's not a good spell. Greater Spark, very pleased with that. It's just like the Lesser Spark but better. Ice Cold Spray might be a bit too expensive for us.
I will seek a hand weapon for your use.
Right, should be able to cast a spray at least once. Enough to test it if nothing else. Although I do need a hostile boar to be able to see how effective it really is.
Nah, you little creep!
Quite nice. So it seems like it has an extra kick to it if there's only a single enemy close by. The prey focuses immediately on the target. At least that's the impression I got. Don't really have the extra mana to test out and fire wildly, but they sort of spread out and converge on him.
Oh, so that's the way it's going to be, huh?
Killed this one the old-fashioned way.
You little creep!
And to save some extra mana so I can just shoot this and see what it does. Okay, so it's a long-range spell then. Maybe, well, it's not exactly like a shotgun, but yeah, if you're probably hard-pressed to get a good hit at long range with all those. But at close range it seems to be fairly effective. That said, it's hard to say how these spells do comparatively. Nothing really survives them all that well, so... Well, the boars don't survive them, and I didn't have all that much of a chance to test anything else. Yeah, the other arc we found, arch we found is it's exactly like this. So
I must confess, I'm not
is it another access point to the Joracle caves, or is it not just another cave? Either way, I'll leave things here. I want to start exploring these fresh. One way or another, we should be able to learn more or less about what the big goal of the game is from this. Based on experience from the first and second game. I don't imagine there's any reason why things should be different this time.